a hotel lobby at 4 a.m., a traffic cone at dawn, hospital lights by noon, and a weekend in jail. No way out until court opens. Lil Nas X has never shied from spectacle, but this time the headlines are different. New footage shows him fully naked on Ventura Boulevard, an orange cone on his head, stumbling through traffic, disoriented and vulnerable. Hours earlier, he was spotted wandering through a Los Angeles hotel lobby where he wasn't a guest, raising concern even before the street scene unfolded. Police say when they approached, he charged and allegedly struck an officer, escalating what began as a disturbance into a criminal case. Instead of a quick booking, he was first rushed to a hospital for a possible overdose, then processed at Van Nuys jail. Because of the charge, he won't be released until he appears before a judge on Monday. Behind the viral clips is a timeline that reveals something more serious, a spiral that mixes health fears with legal consequences. The chain of events starts in the early hours. Security cameras caught him wandering inside a hotel lobby despite not being registered there. Witnesses described his behavior as erratic, setting the stage for what was to come. Later, just before sunrise, Lil Nas X appeared on Ventura Boulevard. At first, he was wearing only underwear and cowboy boots, rapping loudly to Nicki Minaj's Monster. But the new footage goes further, showing him completely nude, bouncing a cone on his head as cars slowed to record the surreal moment. Police responded quickly. According to their report, he charged at officers and allegedly punched one. That detail shifted everything. Instead of being treated as a routine public disturbance, he was arrested for misdemeanor battery on a peace officer. From there, protocol changed. Emergency responders transported him to a hospital first on suspicion of a possible overdose. After doctors cleared him, he was booked at Van Nuys later that morning. And because of the battery allegation, he cannot simply post bail and walk free. He must appear in front of a judge, meaning he will remain in custody through the weekend. This progression, hotel, street, confrontation, hospital, jail, paints a stark picture of escalation. It's no longer just a bizarre clip, it's a series of escalating red flags leading to real legal consequences. Lil Nas X has built a reputation as a provocateur. His artistry thrives on pushing boundaries, fusing spectacle with symbolism, and daring people to look twice. That boldness is what made him a global name, but the new details change the tone. A disoriented figure in a hotel lobby, a naked body on a public street, a trip to the ER for a suspected overdose. These aren't props or costumes, they're glimpses of a person unraveling outside the safe bubble of performance. The contrast is striking. On stage, provocation is controlled. It's designed to shock and inspire. On Ventura Boulevard, there was no choreography, no lights, no dancers, just flashing sirens and confused onlookers. The persona of Lil Nas X, the fearless cultural disruptor, collided with the reality of Montero, a young man in visible distress. It's important context that earlier this year he disclosed a health scare involving partial facial paralysis. He also admitted that recent years have been pretty difficult. Viewed against that backdrop, the current spiral feels less like calculated showmanship and more like the breaking point of accumulated strain. This isn't about dismissing responsibility for alleged actions. It's about recognizing that what unfolded isn't art. It's a crisis, layered with both legal and personal stakes. And the more footage surfaces, the harder it is to mistake it for anything else. One of the most telling details is the order of events. Before a mugshot was even taken, paramedics transported him to a hospital. Police cited concerns of a possible overdose, placing his health above immediate booking. That distinction matters. In ordinary intoxication cases, an individual might be processed directly at a station. Here, doctors had to examine him before law enforcement could proceed. Medical evaluation isn't for optics, it's for survival. It signals that responders weren't just dealing with eccentric behavior, but with a situation carrying potential medical danger. After doctors released him, he was moved to Van Nuys jail and formally booked. The paperwork shows charges of misdemeanor battery and obstruction. Because these charges involve violence toward an officer, bail wasn't automatic. Instead, he will sit in custody until a judge sets conditions. That's why he is locked up through Monday. Inside jail, reports say he has been quiet, cooperative, and on best behavior. The wild energy of Ventura Boulevard is gone. There are no viral stunts or antics behind bars, only compliance. That difference underscores the seriousness of what happened. The performance ended on the street. In custody, reality took over. The sequence: Hospital first, booking second frames the incident not as entertainment, but as a medical legal crisis with consequences extending far beyond a viral moment. Public reaction has also shifted as the new footage and hospital details emerged. At first, the online tone was split. Some joked, others worried. Now, the overwhelming response is trending toward concern. Supporters highlight the risk signs, the hotel wandering, the overdose suspicion, and the quiet compliance in jail. For them, the incident is a call to check on the person behind the persona. Critics still circulate memes, but the context is heavier now. This isn't a staged performance. It's a meltdown unfolding in real time. The silence from his team is also telling. As of now, no public statement has been issued. That kind of silence usually indicates legal review and medical stabilization are happening behind the scenes. Publicists can't spin medical charts, and lawyers won't comment until after a first court appearance. Meanwhile, fans online are debating where compassion ends and accountability begins. Striking an officer is serious. A suspected overdose is also serious. Both truths exist together. If you believe the focus should be on health and recovery, drop a heart in the comments. If you're following the story for the legal outcome, drop the scales of justice. And if you think both truths can exist together, let us know with both. This dual narrative, legal charge, and personal crisis has made the story more than gossip. It's become a test of how audiences handle celebrity breakdowns in the age of instant clips. The immediate future centers on Monday's court appearance. He will be brought before a judge to hear the charges formally, and the court will decide on release conditions. Possible outcomes include release on recognizance with conditions, release on bail with strict terms, or in rare cases, continued custody if the court finds special risk factors. Because this is a misdemeanor battery on an officer, the court is expected to treat the matter seriously, but not at the level of a felony. Likely, conditions will emphasize treatment requirements, check-ins, or mandated programs if a plea deal is later reached. The hospital stop could influence proceedings. Defense attorneys may argue that medical instability was a factor, potentially shaping the outcome toward rehabilitation-focused penalties rather than purely punitive measures. From a reputation standpoint, the damage is already visible. Viral clips of nudity and police sirens are difficult to erase. But there is still a path forward, one rooted not in spectacle, but in acknowledgement and action. If he emerges from court with a commitment to treatment and accountability, fans may view this as a turning point rather than a downfall. The key will be honesty. Audiences forgive mistakes when they believe change is real. They do not forgive manipulation. Monday will not close the book. It will open the next chapter, one that decides whether this spiral becomes a permanent stain or the beginning of a recovery narrative. The story is no longer just about strange behavior on a Los Angeles street. It's about a sequence of warnings, a hotel lobby incident, full nudity in public, a confrontation with police, a suspected overdose, and now a weekend in custody. Each step reveals a young star not in control of a moment, but caught inside a genuine crisis. The court will decide the legal outcome. The public will decide what this means for fame. But the person at the center has decisions of his own: to heal, to acknowledge, and to step away from chaos long enough to recover. If you believe accountability and compassion can coexist, show it with a heart. If you think the priority must be the law, add the scales of justice. Either way, this is no longer just a viral clip. It's a test of what we do when the spectacle stops and the human being remains.